All right. So we're going to do a quick word association exercise. I'm going to mention a person, and I want to hear the first thing that comes to mind. I'm looking for just a word or a phrase. I'm going to call on you one at a time. I'm going to start with you, David.
Okay.
First thing that comes to mind when you hear the name President Biden. This is for all five of you. We're going to have, but David, you go first.
Kind of seems too old.
Okay. Ashley, first thing that comes to mind for you.
Old.
Sherry?
Senile.
Kelly?
Old.
Charles?
Elderly.
Okay. Next one is former President Trump, and I'll call on you. Think of the first thing that comes to mind when you think of former President Trump.
Same order?
I'm going to change it up.
Okay.
Everybody got one? Okay. Kelly?
Rude.
Rude, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. Charles?
Impulsive.
David?
Outlandish.
Ashley?
Egotistical.
Sherry?
Unhinged.
Okay. Let's go back to President Biden. For all five of you, and I'll call on you again. What, if anything, do you like about him? Anybody want to start?
Oh, I'll start. I guess the proclamation or his attempt to forgive student loans.
Okay. All right. What else do you like about him? Anybody else? So none of the four of you have anything else you like about President Biden?
He's keeping Obamacare intact. I know other candidates kind of want to get rid of it.
Okay. But for the other four of you, thanks, Charles. But the other four of you, got nothing you like about President Biden?
I don't think so. I don't think that there's any one thing that I focus on that excites me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think of something.
I honestly can't think of one thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to former President Trump. What, if anything, do you like about him? Anybody?
He seems to have a decent grasp of the economy. He thinks more like a business person, which is needed at times.
I like his strength when it comes to world power. I feel like he would represent us in a strong way.
Okay.
I feel that he's not an insider.
All right. What else?
I would agree with Charles. I felt like the economy was stronger with Trump.
I like his focus on the border.
Okay. Kelly, you got
Yeah,
anything?
I agree. I think he's business minded, and he doesn't really fall. I mean, he kind of goes with his toots to his own horn, you know what I mean? So I do like his independence and when it comes to making decisions, or having a good team behind him that helps him make those decisions or follows through with them.
Okay. You feel like Trump had a good team behind him when he was in office?
I mean, some people, not necessarily all of them, but I think that some of the ones that he had were some decent people that helped him do what he needed to get done.
Okay. Let's go back to President Biden. What, if anything, do you dislike about him? For all five of you.
He lost my trust with the Hunter Biden situation, or at least the way that I understand it. Didn't like the way that he behaved as a grandfather. I didn't like the fact that he appears weak and unable to make decisions on a world policy level.
Okay. Other things you dislike about him? Are the other four of you?
I don't like the crime bill he initiated.
About the 1990s?
Yes.
Okay.
His lack of control at the border.
David, Sherry, Kelly? You
Well,
like-
I mean, I don't like the student loan forgiveness because I never had student loans and I've paid off my wife, so it kind of feels like I did all the work to go to college and my wife's got a bachelor's and master's and it's all paid for by us. So feels like I did that feels like he's just trying to buy votes.
Okay. Sherry, Kelly?
I just find that he's incompetent, period. I don't, he doesn't have my trust at all. I don't feel like he's delivered on many of the items. I think the economy is in horrible shape, and I do not feel comfortable with him for another 4 years based on how old he is and what's already happened in this last term that he's run.
Got it. Okay. Sherry?
Yeah, generally, I feel the same as Kelly. I feel like he's incapable. I don't like where the economy is right now. As Ashley mentioned, I don't like the border or, his foreign policy direction right now. My feeling is that he is, I don't want to say it, like a shell right now, like not capable. He's not capable. And I think that, a lot is being relied on without him, I guess.
Okay. Let's go back to former President Trump. What, if anything, do you dislike about him?
I
His
just think he's,
infidelity.
Sorry. Ashley, go ahead.
I said his infidelity.
Okay.
I think he's very selfish and egotistical.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He just comes across very much narcissistic. I think at the beginning, there was the hope that he was, I guess, somewhat of an outsider in politics, but I feel like after his first term, he's very much in that. And I find him to be almost a bully, I mean, Kelly mentioned, like his staff and things, but I felt like he eliminated so much of his staff so often that like it's almost like that he ran the country like the TV show that he was a part of. You're fired, just very much a character. And one I didn't really like. And I would have to say that I lost a lot of respect for him over the January 6th scenario. And coming from Georgia and the way that he bullied people in our state for the outcome of the election. Just being, I would, in my opinion, being a sore loser and going after people.
Got it. Thank you. Kelly, anything you don't like about Trump?
I just think he can't keep his mouth shut. He's got to, as I mentioned earlier, I think he's rude. I think there's a time and a place to say things, and he doesn't need to say everything that's on his mind. I really don't need to hear all that. So I think that's what bothers me the most. He just can't, He doesn't have the composure that I would expect in a president.
Got it. David, what about you?
Yeah, that's about my biggest is his kind of metering a speech a little better would be far, policies I didn't have much of a problem with, but the kind of the speech kind of just says whatever comes to his head pretty much.
Okay. By a show of fingers, who would say that on most days you pay attention to the 2024 election? Got one, Charles. Okay. So it looks like Biden is running against Trump again in November's election. So for this next question, assume those are your only two choices, or you could choose not to vote. Okay, just assume for this variation of the question, your choices are Trump and Biden, or you could choose not to vote. And for a moment, let's imagine the election is tomorrow. By a show of fingers, if these were your only two choices, who would not vote? Sherry, you would not. Why would you not vote?
I can't in good conscience vote for either one of them.
Okay. You told us a moment ago what your issues are with both of them, so I trust that's the reason. Those are the reasons, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen each of them as president, and I don't want to see either of them in the next 4 years.
Okay. Got it. So I trust you know that Georgia is a pivotal swing state, and your vote matters many more times over than it does for people who live in states that are either very red or very blue. What's your reaction when I say that to you?
Well, I've always been an independent voter, and honestly, a lot of times I have voted for a libertarian candidate. This election, I am strongly considering RFK Jr.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a second. So I just.
Okay, but I'm just being honest.
Yeah. And by cutting you off is just a matter of time. I want to make sure we circle back to RFK in a few minutes. We're going to get there. So the other four of you in this head-to-head race between Biden and Trump, who would take Trump? David, Ashley, and Kelly. David, why would you take Trump in that head-to-head?
Well, it's more of his policies for, the economy, the border, kind of our world presence. Really, those are the main ones.
Got it. Kelly, why would you take Trump in that situation?
I just think overall, I mean, again, I don't want to see Biden another 4 years. If I can tolerate Trump, I'll tolerate Trump. But I think it's more along the lines of he's the lesser of the two evils for me when I look at the next 4 years.
Got it. Thanks. And Ashley?
Competency, or what I perceive. The debate will matter coming up for me. If I do decide to vote for either of those two, just to see how competent Trump is versus Biden, if Biden can even hold his own in a debate. But Trump right now, because of his competency, and I seem to favor the way he was as president on the major issues that are concerning me today.
Got it. And Charles, I trust you would take Biden.
Yes.
Okay. And why would you take him?
Just for the hope that student loans would be forgiven, and Obamacare would stay intact.
Okay, so it would be policy driven.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
By a show of fingers for all five of you, who wishes that neither Trump nor Biden was running this year, and that you had a different slate of candidates to choose from? All five of you. So who do you wish was running this year who isn't running? Who is your ideal candidate? Person has to be at least 35 years old, and born in the US. You can pick from any one of basically 220, well, actually, it's under 35, probably about 200 million people. Anybody, who would you want to see run who isn't running this year? Who's your dream candidate?
For a long time, I have said I would love to see Condoleezza Rice run for president.
Okay, great. Who else?
Kucinich, I like Kucinich's campaign years ago. I would have liked to see him retry. But the Democrats were pretty content with not allowing an actual vote.
Got it. Yeah, just names of people. Keep going.
I mean, I would vote for Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay. Who else?
I think I was disappointed in the Republican race. I would have taken either of the two over Trump.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's fine. I'm looking
Yeah.
for beyond the people who ran
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
None of you have a dream candidate?
No.
Really? You got no one who was like, oh my God, if only so and so ran. There's nobody you feel that way about? The entire United States.
I'd vote for my governor,
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian Kemp.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. I'm talking, but the other two I haven't heard anything from. You have no one for me?
Maybe DeSantis, possibly. Not really.
Okay.
There's not a dream candidate as of right now.
All right. So just let me be clear. There's no military person, sports figure, celebrity, athlete. There's no one living, breathing that you, oh my God, I wish that woman or that man would run for president.
I'd say Judge Joe Brown. Like he's kind of nutty, but I like he's very knowledgeable.
Got it. All right. And Kelly, got anybody for me?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I could see like a
I
Dave.
have to think on that, honestly.
Okay, but there's nobody who leaps to mind.
No.
All right.
Well, I could see like a Joe Rogan or Dave Rubin.
Got it. Okay, thank you. So next, what we're going to do is a quick word association exercise. I'm going to mention a person, and I just want to hear the first thing that comes to mind when I mention that person's name. Don't blurt anything out. I'm going to call on you. Okay? I'm looking for just a word or a phrase. Don't overthink it. Okay? So the first person I want you to just give me a first reaction to is President Biden. What's the first word or phrase that comes to mind when you think of President Biden? Everybody have one? Okay. Carrie, why don't you go first?
Old.
Carissa.
Senile.
Anthony.
Old.
Padilla.
Delusional.
Janelli.
Useless.
Okay. Next person, don't blurt it out. I'll call on you. Former President Trump. The first thing that comes to mind. Everybody have one? All right. Carissa.
Actor.
Anthony.
Scammer.
Padilla.
Criminal.
Janelli.
Cheeto Puff.
Carrie.
Cricket.
All right. Go back to President Biden for a second. What, if anything, do you like about him? Any of you? So none of you
He-
have anything you like about
He's not Trump.
it. Okay.
Less
Yeah.
evil. Yeah.
Say it again.
Less evil.
Less evil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Than Trump, obviously.
I can't even think of anything. Nothing.
He's not so vulgar.
Okay.
I mean, he's put good people in place to do important jobs.
Who was that chirp? Thanks, Carissa. Okay, great. Any other things you like about Trump? Like about Biden? Okay, almost everything you said was he's not such and such about Trump. So other than Anthony's one comment, any of you have anything else positive to say about Biden? I'll take that as a no.
I mean, his VP is a woman. I liked him for that.
Okay.
And how he spoke about himself. I mean, how he holds himself, you know, with speech and everything. But I don't like him anymore. So that's that.
Okay.
I like that he doesn't speak ill of Hispanics and calls them rapists and drug dealers.
Okay.
I think he
But again, you're all seemingly. But let me move on. I'm trying to ask you what you like about him, not what you like. Not what bothers you less about him than it does about Trump. So I'm asking for positive things. If Trump didn't exist, what would you say you like about Biden? That's the question I'm asking.
he treats everybody fairly.
Okay. Got it. All right. Flip side. Let's go to former President Trump. What do you like about him?
Nothing.
Okay.
I second that. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, guys, you gotta work with me on this. I'm looking for either something or no comment. What do you like? Janeely?
He got stuff done, whether it was good or bad, he got it done.
Okay. Anything else? Carissa?
I like that during his time in office, he hedged fund the small businesses as far as funding during the whole pandemic. So I like that about his campaign.
Okay, got it. Carissa, I'm gonna ask you to do something. Is that smoke alarm in a place where you can get at it and shut it off?
Actually, the one that's chirping is all the way in the back.
Okay, but is it a spot where you can get it and just quickly turn it off and pull the battery out? This is gonna disrupt us the entire session.
Oh no, because I can't reach up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you go into another room where you can't hear the alarm?
If I go in my room, you still gonna hear it because I'll be closer to it.
Okay, is the door closed to the room where it is?
Oh no, I'm in the front.
No, but is there a door between where you are and where the smoke
No,
is?
no.
Okay, we're gonna have to keep you muted then. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Anything else you guys like about Trump? No. Okay. Let's go back to President Biden. What, if anything, do you dislike about Biden?
His mental capacity.
He's sending us to war.
His support for Israel.
He funds Israel's genocide.
Okay. What else? Anything else that you dislike about Biden?
The age can't really change that though.
His lack of assertiveness as a leader. His lack of understanding of the wipeout of the middle class. Like nobody is talking about that.
Got it. Hang on one second. Got it. All right. And by a show of fingers, who would say I'm sorry. what, if anything, do you dislike about former President Trump?
How he spoke of women and wanted to control their bodies.
Okay. What else?
How he tried to make Mexico pay for a wall, pay for that wall. Like, that's insane. So yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Him
Bill?
making fun of a disabled person and his speech in period, anything, and how highly he thinks of himself.
Got it.
How he doesn't care for little children that he held in concentration camps, pretty much.
Got it. By a show of
His lack of candor, I would say, when it comes to his own personal business dealings and his finances. Just the fact that it seemed as though he was trying to hide his own possible misdoings.
Thank you.
He's also in denial.
Okay. Thanks. Let me move on. By a show of fingers, who would say that on most days you pay attention to the 2024 election? 3 of you. Okay. So it looks like Biden is running against Trump again this year. For the next question, I want you to assume you have only 2 choices, or you could choose not to vote. So for a moment, let's imagine the election is tomorrow, and your choice is Trump, Biden, or you won't vote. By a show of fingers, if these were your only 2 choices, who would not vote? 4 of you, all the women. Carrie, why would you not vote?
Because it's still like choosing the lesser of 2 evils, but they're both still evil. They're not going to push policies through that are important to me as a woman, me as a minority, me as the waning middle class. Absolutely.
All right. Carissa, how about you?
I wouldn't vote simply because I think it's a time for a change in this country. No more Democrats, no more Republicans. It's time for a liberal or independent to steer this country back to where it needs to go.
Got it. Janelle.
I wouldn't vote for either one of them because neither one of them would bring change to the world. They're not for women. They're just mainly there to go to war.
Della?
I wouldn't vote for Biden because of his policy and support for Israel, that my tax dollar is supporting a genocide. And then the same thing Trump would do the same and even more evil as Biden. So both of them are no good for me.
Okay. Got it. So if it's a Trump-Biden race, those four of you said you wouldn't vote. But how many of you are aware that Georgia is a pivotal swing state in this election, and that your vote matters many more times there than it does in a place like Massachusetts or Mississippi, which is either very blue or very red? Explain that to me, how you would not vote in an election where your vote in Georgia is incredibly important.
Well, my thing is everybody's focused on Biden and Trump, and nobody's talking about the other 2 candidates. I'm voting for RKJ Jr., and nobody's talking about the liberal that's running, which is Marianne Watson, I believe. So everybody's the media is trying to get us to focus. The main media is trying to get us to focus on Trump and Biden. No, there's 2 other runners. There's 2 other candidates running for president. We don't have to vote for either one of them at all.
Okay, guys, we're gonna get to them in a little bit. So I just wanted to know. So if it's basically just Trump and Biden, actually, let me move on from this question because it's a hypothetical that I know I'm getting the answer to already. By a show of fingers, in a head-to-head race between Biden and Trump, Anthony, who would you take? You're muted. Go ahead.
Biden.
You would take Biden. Okay, why would you take Biden?
Because I can't stand Trump and I feel like he will destroy the world and the environment.
Okay. Got it. And by a show of fingers, who wishes that neither Biden nor Trump were running this year? And you had two other choices of candidates. So all five of you. So I'm curious, who do you wish that was running this year? Who is not running? Who's your dream candidate? The person has to be at least 35 years old and has to be a U.S. citizen. There's about 200 million people who fit that category. Who's your dream candidate? Someone who's not running this year who you'd love to see run? Padilla.
Bernie.
Okay.
Mine's Bernie too.
Okay. Who else?
If we're not gonna bring Barack back, then I would have to go with Bernie as well.
Okay. But you don't have to. So let me be clear. I'm talking about anybody in America. It doesn't have to be Bernie Sanders. Think broadly. You can have
I
your,
would choose Johnny Depp's attorney. I forgot her name, but Johnny Depp's attorney.
okay.
That
Michelle
one.
Obama.
Michelle Obama. Okay. Who else?
I don't even know the lady's name, so I can't say.
I would even do Snoop Dogg.
Liz
I
Cheney.
have more trust in him than the two that we have now.
Okay.
Billy Nelson.
I would choose Killer Mike because he's an activist, and I would love to see what he would do with the in the White House. So yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right. Thank you.